Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And item C on the agenda is swearing in of a firefighter, EMT, and we'll turn it over to the mayor.
Come on up. How old are you? 3.
Yeah, I think we need to up here.
I haven't even started yet, sweetheart. Nicholas, we're going to ask you something really weird. You understand that, right? Human nature, animal instinct says run away from fire. And you're volunteering to go, no, I'm going to get on a truck with some other people and go towards the fire. I'm going towards the danger, right? You understand? Yes. It takes courage. It takes guts. It takes internal fortitude. Appreciate it. All right? Do what you've been told. Listen to these guys back here, all right? Chief and assistant chief and your captain out there, right? Is your captain out there?
Yes.
Yeah, see? Listen to them, okay? Equipment can get replaced. You can. A lot of things I want to do as mayor. Of course, somebody's last call because they're stupid. It's not something I want to do as mayor, okay? So listen to what they're told you do, all right?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about that? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Nick Lashewski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and the state of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
and the charter, ordinances, and resolutions
the charter, ordinances, and resolutions
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and faithfully discharge and perform
faithfully discharge and perform
all duties incumbent upon me
all duties that become upon me
as a firefighter paramedic,
as a firefighter paramedic,
which have been appointed
which I've been appointed
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. John Henry right there. I need to do one more thing for you too, all right? When you get back to the station, right? Danger's over and you're on the way back to the station. Pull out your cell phone and text your wife, everything's okay, I'm all right, be home.
Will do.
All right? Because she'll worry.
I know she
Right? Yeah, yeah. And not just for me, that's coming from her too, right? I've seen that look before. So. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
Hello, my name is Nick Lashewski. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I have 2 beautiful children and girlfriend Ashley. I've been a firefighter here for about 3.5, close to 4 years now, and this has been a long time coming as my dream, and I'm very excited to be here.
All right. You put something on here.
I left it open for you. Don't stay.
Just so he doesn't get the point.
Chief, anything you want to add?
I just want to say, Nick started with us part-time back in 2015, end of 15, early 16. And I can tell you, Nick is, we watched him go from EMT to paramedic school, which is one heck of a, road to go through. But his personality is just awesome. He has got great character. He's just a great guy to be around. So we really, really do enjoy him at the fire station. So congratulations, Nick. Welcome. All right. You want to go around the table or anything and shake hands?
Yeah.
We'll go.
Put it here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good. Taryn? Taryn, are you good? Picture-wise? Anyone else see some pictures back there before you get them all back? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Take a Wrigley. We can't pass anything under major or under. Oh, now he's back.
Okay, at this point, we'll move on to item D, the mayor's state of the city address, so we'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Thank you, Dan, I appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to present this year's State of the City address. 2018, brick by brick. This past Christmas, it seems like a long time ago, was only 40 days. Anyways, our middle son's Christmas should have been sponsored by our friends at Legos. Every Christmas gift he unwrapped contained those little plastic blocks. And he loves to put them together, play with the set for a little while, put it away, and then build the next one. And as he builds each set, I find the items very interesting. One is just a level of detail. When I was a child, the sets were neat, but not nearly the level of detail they have now. It's really incredible. I mean, just look at how the minifigures have changed. Before, each was a yellow smiling face. All of them had the exact same smiling face. And now they're all different colors, different facial expressions. Sometimes the sets come together quickly, with large pieces fitting together to create a wall or a roof. While towards the end of the build, the fine details are added. The instructions are very detailed as well, with each step involving only a handful of pieces. It seems that during the roughly 100-step process to build a set, the foundation is in those first 10, and the biggest gains, you can move it, you can see what's starting to become, usually between steps 40 and 50. And the last 10 are those fine details. These details make the sets come alive and really show how remarkable that work that Lego does. When I think about 2018, this theme of building kept coming back. Brick by brick, Napoleon is moving toward a direction of growth, of positive change. We made big strides in 2018. The framework for those strides were laid by our predecessors. They helped us open the box and wrap the pieces, and together we built. Together we moved forward. And I think most of us agree made Napoleon a better place. Now when I said together, I meant all of us. Our citizens, folks on this side of the wall, our department heads worked very hard to help build Napoleon one brick at a time. Some bricks are very easy to see. Jack Products showing an industrial zone, the North signs going up, to name a few. Others are in more of the fine details. And our departments were busy building Napoleon brick by brick. And how did they do that? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look at each of our departments and take a look and see what they did. Let's begin with our Napoleon Police Department led by Chief Mack. And each time I say that, it feels more and more natural. Chief Mack. Second one, right, Chief? Yes, sir. Yeah. The Napoleon Police Department built relationships with the Henry County Sheriff's Office, Hope Services, Job and Family Services, Juvenile Court, Center for Child and Family Advocacy, as well as the Four Counties Adams Board and Napoleon area schools. Want something even more tangible than relationship building? How about replacing of the radios and enhancing them with grant funding and state capital budget monies? We thank the Henry County EMA for helping the city save $156,000. We also thank the Henry County Commissioners for their help with financing and realizing that when our safety personnel can better communicate, we can all be safer. The Napoleon Fire Department, led by Chief O'Brien, had a solid 2018 as well. Much like the Napoleon Police Department, the Fire Department continues to build relationships with the county agencies. With the help of the Red Cross, the Fire Department installed 121 smoke alarms throughout the city. and I hope, like they do, that fire alarms are never activated, but know that when they go off, the Napoleon Fire Department will answer the call. They answer the call because they continue to build a stronger, better train today than they were yesterday. That better training was put to a big test this past year when the Brick and Brew caught fire. Our crews did a wonderful job, saved the downtown, and most importantly, everyone, and I mean everyone, went home. And oh, by the way, they have a new airboat to help in waterborne emergency situations. I thank the department for sending us pictures as the airboat was being built. It's amazing to see the pieces come together one step at a time. Parks and Rec, I had a good 2018. Built a new playground structure at Glenwood Park. I drove by with our 5-year-old in the back seat and he said, "Dad, look, a new playground." I said, "Yes, the last one was there when I was a kid." Without missing a beat, he said, "Oh, so it's really old." Yeah, kids say the darndest things. Anyways, back to the building. The golf course had a solid year, wetter than normal spring, with revenue exceeding projections and expenditures coming in under budget. We thank all the employees, plus the duffers out there using this challenging 9-hole golf course. Want to build something? How about a new swimming pool? Or more accurately, a group has begun work on a levy campaign to replace the existing structure with more amenities and improve experience for families and swimmers alike. I trust they can run a fact-based campaign and have voters make informed decisions. We thank the Church of the Nazarene and the 2018 Parks and Rec Service Award winners for their contribution to the City Parks and Rec Department. Thank you. Continuing with our building theme, the vibrant youth programs built teams of kids that compete on fields of friendly strife, teaching teamwork, fair play, and the enjoyment of the outdoors. Get them outside and off those screens and get them playing. The Dave Pike team led team at the wastewater plant built upon a solid reputation by having no permanent violations, while handling more stuff in 2018 than it did in 2016. To help rebuild, there's that theme again, building, pump number 2 at the Van Heining lift station. We're also beginning the planning and design work for the headworks and solids handling for the next generation of the wastewater treatment plant. This is the next area of critical infrastructure that needs a great amount of work. We thank the entire wastewater plant team for their continued dedication. We also thank one last time Greg Heath for his service to the city. We also thank Chris Petticoat and her team. Yes, Chris, it's your team, for their continued work in keeping the financial wheels in motion. Chris reports that in 2018, the city had income tax receipts of $4,300,688.42. And what has your finance department built? How about a team that can overcome the loss of a director and keep functioning? 2019 will be a new director. Hopefully realizes the staff and team are here and maintains the level of detail and state audit recognition while continuing to build an even better place for employees and citizens alike. City Engineer Chad Luffs and Superintendent Jeff Rathke have continued to build so many things here in Napoleon, from the Industrial Drive project to the finish of the downtown project. Yes, I know, Ken, it's not quite done the downtown project, but we're working on it. And they're busy putting projects together brick by brick. They helped Jack Products come to town, erect new Norris signs, completed the manhole lining project, hired a new service building clerk. The zoning department reports that there are 5 new residential homes were started in 2018, while almost $2.8 million worth of permits were issued. We also welcomed 7 new businesses to the River City. 7 new businesses hoping to build lasting relationships here in Napoleon. Next year could be even bigger as additional housing comes online here in Napoleon. We thank you for all your continued work. Let's stay in the operations building and check and see what Denny Clapp and his band of merry men did in 2018. Electric department changed 350 street lights to LEDs, saving the city money, installed new 45-foot poles at Independence Drive, and had a member earn a hard hat safety award from AMP, as well as it had no missed calls for electric standby requests for the 8th continuous year. You do anything right for 8 years, that's my hats off to you. Once again, the electric department completed a year building a more robust grid for the citizens of Napoleon, Ohio. On a side note, I was speaking recently with a resident of a Toledo suburb. They're fretting about old gasoline in their generator. When I asked why, they replied, every time the wind blows, they lose power. Well, knock on wood, because the system the electric department has built for tree trimming, this is not even an issue for a vast majority of our citizens, our customers. Great job, Denny. The IT department hit the ground running by making a change from the outdated IceWorks system to the Office 365 Cloud. Look, I'm not sure if I say anything correctly, but I know this. The new email is better than the old email, and the IT department fully staffed is building better systems, better use of technology, and taking us to more efficient and hopefully more secure networks. Keep building, fellows. We need it. Thank you. Billy Harmon and crew, okay, Billy Harmon and Tammy, did a bang-up job in 2018. Billy reduced the use of outside counsel by more than $32,000. That's huge. When we realized that Billy was doing many of the tasks for the first time, I think it really shows the professional that Billy is and the job he and Tammy can do. The NORA legislation, brand new. Making sure the end of year legislation was done. Awesome. Both of these help safeguard the city and also made sure we're in a solid foundation and not scrambling on December 31st. Sometimes we can miss that with the work that Billy and Tammy do. Made sure we weren't here on the 31st, having to do a third read at 9 o'clock at night because of the work that you did. Thank you, Billy. I put water here last for a couple of reasons, but I think it really illustrates the point I'm trying to make about building. What the 28-2 water treatment crew did was almost a miracle. As the plant went through a complete rehaul, they had 0 boil alerts. Way to go. What is interesting to me about this project is that many of our residents thought it was completed when the walls were up and the roof was on the new building. Think about how many times you're asked. We're done now, right? Building's done, they're done. That was just a shell. And as I discussed already, it's the details that make it work. The details of how the water comes out of the Maumee and into our homes and places of work. Well, that takes the inside of the building to come together and to work. Are we finished? Not quite. I would say we're in step 97 of 100. We have some landscaping to go and a tour of the facility still planned. In my mind, that project is not complete until we have the public open house and let our residents see what has become of their old water treatment plant. Now, every Lego set, if you remember this, comes with an instruction manual. They all come with a step-by-step way of putting the pieces together to replicate the image on the box. And if you look around here, there's no instruction manual yet. One is on the way. Before 2019 expires, we'll have the city master plan. And the best way to utilize it is to use it. This can be one of those things that can get quickly put on a shelf and not used. But just like the instruction book for Lego set, after a primary item is built, the book goes away in a closet or drawer. We cannot allow that to happen to our master plan. We realize that we cannot accomplish each step, we cannot do everything, but as we look forward, as we peer forward, we can use it to guide us, to help us to make sure we are utilizing our gifts correctly. So where do we go from here? What is the next Lego set to build? What's next? Let's look forward to this time next year and what do we want to have accomplished? What is the next foundation? Council, what is next? I think we all want the same thing, really, or we wouldn't be here. We want Napoleon to move forward. Will we always agree? No, we won't. I was flipping around on YouTube or on the internet the other day and landed on a YouTube video by Ravi Zacharias. And he said, the unity of belief does not always mean uniformity of expression. Now think about that and how true those words are. Unity of belief does not mean uniformity of expression. We all worked for Napoleon to be better. We all believe that we are moving Napoleon forward. Yes, we express it in different ways. So what are our opportunities for building in 2019? We need to maintain our positive momentum. Housing going up where West School once stood. New apartments on Trail Drive. A new senior living near Raymond Street. Potential for renewed use of a downtown building by the Armory folks. A new development on Scott Street, plus the possibility of additional growth around American and Freedom Drives. This is an exciting time to keep building. This is an exciting time here in Napoleon to keep working. Times of growth can be rare, so we must take full advantage of them when they are present. And what else? With a new Napoleon area school superintendent coming in 2019, we can reinforce the historically good relationship between the city and the schools. Is it smooth? No. Can you honestly give me an example of a completely smooth relationship? Probably not. But it has historically been good? Absolutely. Water. We also need to continue building on the water relationships with the surrounding communities. How? Become laser focused on keeping rates where they are for the foreseeable future. Continue the dialogue that is mutually beneficial for all parties. That has to happen. We need to continue to build on the relationships already established and keep them moving forward in a forward direction. Keep moving forward, step by step, brick by brick. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Item E, approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes from the January 21st, 2019 meeting will stand approved. They do stand approved. Going on to item F, citizens communications. Is there anybody out there that would like to address the council about an item not on the agenda? Okay, moving on then to item G, reports from council committees. First of all, Personnel Committee, Jason.
Yes, Personnel Committee met on January 28th, and we went into executive session to review applications. And we'll conduct another meeting this Thursday, beginning at approximately 5:15 for phone interviews in executive session.
Okay. And Finance and Budget Committee did not meet January 28, 2019 due to lack of agenda items. Safety and Human Resources Committee did meet on January 28, 2019 and recommended an upgrade of the current WTA position in the water plant to Assistant Superintendent, and we will bring that up for discussion later this evening. Technology Committee, Ken?
The Technology Committee met tonight, and given an update on the improvements in the computer system generally, everything else that they're being involved in. And also a little report on the police car camera deal. And I felt that the committee recommended the IT director give a report to the whole council tonight.
Okay, thank you. And then going on down to item I, introduction of new ordinances and resolution. Item number 1, resolution number 008-19, a resolution authorizing a community reinvestment area, CRA agreement between the City of Napoleon, Ohio and Just Bush Investments, LLC within Napoleon CRA number 2 and declaring an emergency. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. City Manager?
Thank you, Council President. Council President Pro Tem. The resolution before you is authorizing us to enter into a CRA agreement with Just Bush Investments. And this item was discussed at the, thank you. This item was discussed at the Muni Properties Committee. We have representatives from Just Bush Investments here today. But in the committee, we talked about the old senior center. This has to do with the old senior center property. The new owners have a great concept that they discussed. I don't want to rain on your parade, and actually like to see if you wouldn't mind coming up and talking about the project a little bit. But just the agreement is a CRA agreement. This is a pre-1994 area, so it can't be anything less than 100% property tax abatement, and they requested 10 years. So that's how the agreement is written. Also, there is suspension is requested, and the reason is, and Julie can get into it in a minute, but the reason is with CRA agreements, any improvements that are made that increase the property and value, you should wait before until the agreements are signed to start work that would make the improvements in the value of the property go up, because it is the CRA agreement. The tax abatement is based on the improvements to the property, so they still pay property tax to what the value of the land is right now. It's a 10-year abatement on any improvements made to the property. So that's how the CRAs work. And if there's any questions on the technical side of the CRAs, here to answer questions. And Julie and Steve are here to talk about the project itself. So thanks for being here.
Oh, absolutely. We're very excited and proud of our planning that we have so far for the Old Senior Center. We are anxious to start, and it's important that we start soon, and because the booking season is coming soon. We found that there's a lot of interest. We've gotten many, many phone calls of people interested in renting it for many different types of events. It's not just a wedding venue. It'll be for meetings, for banks, for small parties. It's a kind of a small version of the Armory, but just more practical for graduation parties, etc. We're anxious to get started and get it open for business as early as May. So this is kind of holding us up a little because we can't really improve the property until this gets passed. We have found that in order to have it ready, we need to get it up to speed on the new codes and regulations, which means a sprinkler system, which means running a new water line. There's a lot of added expense that was a bit of a surprise, and this tax abatement would help us out tremendously because it's not easy. We're a one-man team here. We don't have, endless amounts of money, but we'll work really hard to get it going, and it's just a bit more than what we thought, and this is just one way to really help us out.
Thanks. So, yeah, suspension is requested, obviously, because of the timing of the improvements that are to be made. And
The Armory has a couple businesses in it. Will this building also have a couple,
Yes.
businesses in it too? Okay.
It will. We have a clothing boutique at the Armory, and those owners want to open up another business across the street and have like a children's boutique, something higher-end children's clothing.
Right.
And then possibly an ice cream shop and a small party room for children's parties. So it's got a different feel from the Armory, just a smaller scale and
Right.
more specific events.
Julie is sort of off the subject, but you've done a great job, both of you, with what you've done with
Thank you.
turning that armory into the venue
yeah.
it is today.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
And I'm
Thank you.
sure,
We're proud of it.
I'm confident you will do the same with
We will.
Yeah.
this facility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I was there Friday morning, and somebody remarked that they're from Paulding, and they said they wish that somebody in
Yes.
Paulding would do to their armory what we have done to ours, so.
Yep.
So
I was
congratulations.
born and raised in Paulding. I know
Okay.
that armory very well. Yes, and it's been updated, but it's a church now, actually.
Okay,
And it looks probably like this room.
right,
It's politically correct. It has the carpet and the drywall and the paneling. It's nice, but our goal is, like we talked to the Preservation Committee, we want to keep it really, how do you say it, vintage, and bring back the feeling of the old grocery store that it was.
right.
With the old brick and the tin ceiling, and just give it a lot of charm and add our flair to it. So,
Cool.
yeah, it's going to be very much like the Armory, but just
Well, smaller.
exactly.
Anybody that's seen Julie's flair knows that doesn't come cheap.
You should know, Steve.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes.
Do I have a motion for suspension?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll on suspension?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes?
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, call the roll on the resolution?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes?
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, so that has passed.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you
You
very
can start
much.
right now.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
And-
yeah, so the next step is we sign
Right.
the agreement. There's a $750 check that needs to be written and sent to the state. The application goes to the state, they review it, barring no comments or anything. It'll go through, they approve it, and then a DTE 24 form goes to the Henry County Auditor's Office so that they can make a note of that.
Everybody's got that.
Yeah, it's just a standard form. It's a standard form.
So you'll keep us posted
Yeah,
and
yeah, so
tell us what we
should-
need to do.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Probably first thing tomorrow, that way we can keep the
Yes,
ball rolling.
absolutely.
and,
Joel's been very helpful, and we really appreciate that. Because this just all helps us. We help you and you help us.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's going to be something, guys.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, take care.
Okay, item number 2, resolution number 009-19, a resolution authorizing the expenditures of funds over $25,000 for the purpose of purchasing a 2019 Ford Interceptor SUV for the City of Napoleon Police Department, and to sole source said purchase to statewide Ford and declaring an emergency. Motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Mr. City Manager?
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. This was discussed at the meeting 2 weeks ago. The state term contract, the state bid contract is not available for police vehicles this year.
Mhm.
So there's a dealership in, is it Van Wert? That actually purchased 250 vehicles and in anticipation that there wasn't going to be a state bid. So Chief reached out to them, and they have one, let's see, the last time we talked, 2 weeks ago, there were 100 vehicles left. That we do have one on reserve right now that they've penciled in for us. So this is why we're requesting suspension, so that we can get this order in and make sure that we get in the queue for one of these vehicles before they're gone. So this is budgeted. This is what we have budgeted. In fact, I think it's how many? Is it under budget?
It's under budget, by $1,000.
So it's under budget
Even better.
for what we need, and requesting suspension. Chief, I don't know if you want to add anything else to that?
The only updated number I had was that we're less than 26 vehicles left when I reserved ours.
Wow.
So, as of late last week, I sent a letter of intent, just in case, that way it didn't lock us into anything, it just said that we were going through this process to try and get something.
I make motion for suspension.
Okay, thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll on suspension.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, now call the roll on the resolution.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, it passed under suspension.
Thank you.
Council.
Item number 3, ordinance number 0010-19, an ordinance to approve current November 2018 replacement pages to the Napoleon codified ordinances. Again, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you. Chris, did you want me to talk about this, or this is our annual?
Oh, motion,
Yeah.
excuse me, I got the motion. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, you got that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
now it's your turn.
Resume. This is something that
We do
it's
annually.
usually handled annually through the finance department, and the Walter Drain company reviews our ordinances every year to make sure that we're compliant with any changes in state laws. Does that cover it?
Yep.
Okay. And the only issue I had, and I'll just air this grievance right now, but the only issue I have is that they don't give us the red line version of the changes in the ordinances, which we've requested before, I believe. Is that
No, Roxanne,
correct?
the clerk
Roxanne, have you-
handles all that.
Have you requested in the past? They said they couldn't provide it, so.
Tell them that we won't pay them.
But
We don't want to be out of, is there a legal reason that they wouldn't?
no, it's just, I don't know why they
Just
don't.
extra work,
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Are there other companies that would do it?
I imagine there is,
I'll check it
for a price.
this year.
They're not
Yeah.
willing to do what we ask. I mean,
Right.
why pay
Roxanne
them
can
all the
check.
money?
Yeah.
Roxanne will go to a conference and she'll check to see if there's another company.
Can you
Yeah, I just
request
think
it for us, Billy? Maybe come
Can
up
I
with-
request it? I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do that. I would do that, then.
You know, because you're
Come-
reading through the ordinances and you can't see exactly where, so you gotta go through each one and try to figure out what was changed, and
Yeah.
it's,
Maybe if Billy says
cumbersome.
with his title there, these guys are meaning business now.
there we go.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Love it.
We
But
do
that
not need suspension on this. This can go through the regular.
Yeah.
I guess I'll leave it up to council
Regular
and
reads.
Billy, I don't know if you
Yeah.
have.
There's no emergency needed.
It's not
There's-
necessary.
No.
Emergencies in there. No, it's not even.
No, it's
not.
Does it say, is there a reason to read it 3 times?
No.
I'll make a motion, we suspend.
Would there be a second then?
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll on suspension.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, call the roll on the ordinance.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. Then number 4, resolution number 011-19, a resolution amending resolution 066-18 and resolution 001-19 as it pertains to millage and ballot language and declaring it an emergency. Motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay.
Thank you,
Mr.
President Pro Tem.
City Attorney?
So, I draft each one of these ballot language, all these, the legislation that we put together for the ballot, with an eye toward absolutely ensuring that I don't get a phone call from the Board of Elections saying you have to change something, and every single time we get something. So, this time through, we did get feedback from the Secretary of State and the Board of Elections. They want the red line change that you can see on your screen there. The numbers that we did get from the auditor, but these numbers are required by the state to get on the ballot. And we have to have these ballot numbers, these ballot changes over to the Board of Elections by Wednesday. So I am requesting that we suspend the rules and pass under emergency as well. We've already talked to Rox, and I think she's going tomorrow to drop this off both places, at the Board of Elections and at the auditor. So please make the changes required by the Secretary of State to get this where it needs to go.
Do you mind if I jump in?
No, go.
I did talk to Kevin today about this, just to ask about, why the change and why the difference in the numbers. The issue is, it has to do with assessed value and non-assessed values. So when the ballot language, the way it reads, the numbers that Kevin had given were based off of assessed values, and what the Board of Elections is requiring is that we're basing it on non-assessed values. So what does that all mean? It means it's a formality in the tax side of things, but it doesn't change anything materially to how much we're anticipating on collecting and how much each property owner would be charged if this were to pass. So none of that changes. It's just it's a technical wording issue between the auditor and the Board of Elections.
So you're saying it's a technicality?
Yeah, he said it better than I did. So
So basically, we said 6, they said no, call it half a dozen.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we have a motion for suspension?
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll on suspension.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, call the roll on the ordinance?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go on to section J, second readings of ordinances and resolutions. Item number 1, resolution number 002-19, resolution authorizing the approval and execution of the operations and maintenance service agreement between the City of Napoleon and American Municipal Power, Inc. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Joel?
Thank you. So we did talk with AMP at length, and they answered all of our questions. And much to our surprise, some of the missing pieces that were, I say missing pieces, the questions that we had to fill in the blanks. So it made it easier that we were the ones that were able to put what we needed into the agreement to make sure that we were comfortable with how it read, and make sure that we're maintaining the equipment in accordance with what the expectation is. So it worked out well. Just waiting on that, the updated version with our inputs into it, and will be in your packets as soon as we get it back. And just requesting second read.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roxanne, call the roll on second read.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. Number 2, resolution number 003-19, a resolution authorizing the city manager for the City of Napoleon, Ohio, to complete all acts necessary for the sale of certain property owned by the City of Napoleon to the Napoleon area city schools, to wit, recording equipment previously used to fulfill the NCTV contract between the city and the Napoleon area schools, and declared an emergency. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Joel?
Thank you. As stated at the last meeting, this is to sell the equipment since we are terminating the contract with the Napoleon area school system, and selling the equipment you see on the screen right now $3,600 worth of equipment, and we should be getting back all of the equipment that is now on your screen, that you see on the screen. We'll decide if we can use it in any way, or if we just need to put it on Gov Deals and sell it off. The one item I did want to point out is that I did receive an email, and this was discussed in the IT committee meeting, and I did get an email from Ken Neuenschwander, who ran the NCTV program for a very long time. He had suggested that we hang on to the equipment and have volunteers run through the Civic Center, run the public access channel. I don't necessarily think that that's a bad idea to have some type of civic group run the public access channel, but at this point in the game, I'm going to recommend that we proceed forward as planned. We have the investment in the council camera now, and we are uploading it to YouTube. It's coming in pretty clear. Everybody has access to it. Not everybody has access to cable. I'm kind of reiterating some of the points that have already been discussed, but I recommend that we proceed forward, and I can contact Ken back and let him know if he has any other ideas on how to run the public access channel, since we do have access to it. See what it is that we can do, and see if there's a way we can utilize it.
Can you go back to the list, Sean?
Yeah.
And see if we can do it without us costing money and or personnel.
Correct. Correct.
So the return stuff is coming back to the city, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if the end of life things that basically we're gonna trash, or what are we gonna do?
Put on Gov Deals
Put on Gov
to start, and see if we can sell it, and if not,
So if he wants it, he can bid on Gov Deals?
yes. And I wouldn't recommend taking back the other equipment that they'd like to keep.
No, that's
because
fine. No, keep it, that's fine.
It really, it
That's-
really benefits them and their programming at the school, and it's
That's fine,
It's
you
a
keep
good
that
use.
stuff, that's fine. Yeah. I don't know if we wanna offer some end of life stuff to the Civic Center group to see if we wanna sell it there first, is my only question.
I think you give them every chance to put it on Gov Deals and tell them where it's going to be at. And
That's fine.
Gov Deals is hit and miss, in my opinion. If you're looking for old police vehicles, it's great, but there's not too many people that are looking for camera equipment on Gov Deals, in my opinion, because you just don't see it
So if
very
we
often.
post it, you make sure you let them know that it's on there?
Yeah.
Might actually get it
We
cheaper.
also want to make sure that that our IT people can see if they can use any of it.
Understand, yep, absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah,
first things
yeah,
first.
yep.
Okay.
As long as,
anything else?
as long as they're aware when stuff goes on Gov Deals, if we're not gonna use it, so that if
Yep.
they have the monies available, they can take it.
Yeah. Good deal.
Anything else on this one?
Cause if we don't do it that way, every time we're gonna push something on Gov Deals, we're gonna get these kind of favor kind of emails, and then we're gonna put ourselves in a really tough bind going forward, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
yes.
Okay, item number 3, resolution number 004-19, and that is a resolution authorizing a community reinvestment area, CRA agreement, between the City of Napoleon, Ohio, and Janmar Properties LLC within Napoleon CRA number 16, and declaring an emergency. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Joel?
Thank you. Actually, on this agreement, we did receive one request to make a change. There's actually a couple of changes. One was kind of a leftover language from when we originally drafted it to where it said it required school board approval. So we changed that to the school board with both Fort County and Napoleon area schools were notified, which we are required to notify them. So we changed that language. Also, they requested that we moved the project completion date back 5 years. You know, what this does is, since they're individual lots, properties being developed and then transferring, what they'd like to do is extend it out just in case if something were to happen, say the economy changes or something where they stop doing these builds, it gives them a little bit more time to complete the entire project. So that was the reasoning why when I talked to the developer. Just pad the, it just gives them a little bit more cushion. So instead of the completion date being December 31st of 2024, they requested that it be December 31st of 2029. So the agreement that you see before you was modified to reflect that. That's something that council wants to consider and approve. Leave it up to everybody here, and I'll take any questions.
Comments, questions?
No questions, not for me. Get it done.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Resolution number 005-19, a resolution authorizing a community reinvestment area, CRA agreement between the City of Napoleon and MSG Investments Ltd. within Napoleon CRA number 6 and declaring an emergency. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Joel again?
No changes to this agreement, and nothing else to report.
Okay. Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
And finally, under second reads, resolution number 006-19, a resolution authorizing a community reinvestment area, CRA, agreement between the City of Napoleon, Ohio, and Rio, did I say that right? LLC within Napoleon CRA number 7 and declaring an emergency. Motion.
Ready, Rio.
It's REIO, yeah.
So moved.
Second. We have two motions. I mean, we have a motion and a second.
Okay.
So go ahead.
And again, nothing new to report from the previous two meetings, requesting second read.
Okay. Do you get the motions? Okay. Go ahead and call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to item K, third reading of ordinances and resolutions. There are none tonight. So we go on to item L, good of the city. A discussion action, assistant superintendent position at the water treatment plant. Joel.
All right, thank you. This was discussed during budget, and then again, it was discussed and approved as an additional request by council, and then it was discussed again at the Safety and Human Resources Committee meeting, given a little bit more detail about the steps that need to take place in order to get this fully approved. We'll be requesting council's to direct the law director to draft legislation to change the pay ordinance to reflect this change. If you look on the screen, this is what you see in front of you is let me zoom in. This is the org chart now as it is. You have 4 operators, a chief operator, and a water superintendent. What we're suggesting is a superintendent, assistant water superintendent, a chief operator, and 3 operators. And a couple of the reasons, as was pointed out at the previous meetings, was that there's been a high turnover rate at the water plant over the past 8, 9 years. 17 people have turned over. It's almost 2 a year. And I see this as it's obviously critical infrastructure. So in order to help retain employees and also give some of the employees a career ladder, we suggested this change. And right now we've got a good solid team at the water plant. Everybody there is a Class 3 operator. We do have one vacancy right now, but, and then we do have a Class 1 operator. But we've got a couple of applications in where we've got some people with some licenses that are wanting to come here. Usually people aren't leaving Bowling Green to come to Napoleon. Usually people are leaving other water systems to go to Bowling Green, but right now we're able to attract employees, and it's a good sign, and they kind of see the changes and see some of the light at the end of the tunnel here. And it's a small group of people in the water treatment industry. It's everybody kind of knows each other. They pay attention. They talk to each other at conferences and training events and seminars. Overall, I think it's a positive change for and something that's needed at the water plant right now at this time. That's all I have on comments, unless anybody has any questions. Councilman Bear, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to what was talked about at the Safety and Human
I
Resources.
believe we were looking at, if you bring that chart back down there a minute. No, go back up now.
This one.
Yeah, the new chart for the proposal. I believe we were looking at perhaps moving someone from within up to that assistant superintendent position. Is that a true or false
Yes.
statement?
Yep.
That's a true statement.
Yep.
Okay.
So there most likely be internal candidates moving into the positions and then filling in underneath.
Nothing else.
Well, you want to mention about the union's gonna gain one person?
Well, actually,
yeah, good point.
that is a good point. The union won't gain a position, but one of the positions will be upgraded. So there's been no issues with them. They've supported this. We did talk about the difference between the water plant and wastewater plant, and really it's a tale of two plants. The water plant runs staggered shifts. The wastewater plant runs one shift, and it's just they're two different types of water treatment. Will things change in the future at the wastewater plant? Maybe, but as of right now, it's needed here. I don't see a need at the wastewater plant. I think everybody agrees at this point. The next step is, well, there's a typo here. It says chef water treatment operator, but it should be chief. But AFSCME has approved.
Cooking up water. The water's improved, so it could be a.
That's true.
Yeah. Spray rosemary does a lot of stuff for the water.
So the next step is to get legislation, pass the legislation, promote a person for the assistant water superintendent, and then advertise for the chief operator position and fill it. And then any vacancies in operators, obviously there's one operator position that's vacant, and we're seeking to fill that right now.
So can I have a motion to authorize Billy to prepare legislation on this matter?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. Got that, Billy?
I did. I'm gonna need some specifics. Do I get with Laney on that?
Yes, yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 2, discussion of action, acceptance of JAG LE grant to the police department. Is that a Chief Mack?
That is,
That's a
well,
Joel?
yeah, actually, it's, this would also request the council to direct the law director to draft legislation to accept the grant from JAG LE and enter into a grant agreement with the granting agency. We applied for a grant, almost $20,000, with the help of the county EMA, and the granting agency awarded the city $9,741.60 for in-car cameras. So this is something that we budgeted for. This is we budgeted $12,500 for the camera and some of the back-end server space. Also, we budgeted $3,500 for other ancillary equipment. This just adds to it. We weren't planning on, with what we had budgeted, finishing the project this year. We just wanted to get something in there to get it started. This gets us a little bit closer to finishing it off, so hopefully we can get good pricing and finish the project off. So something that's needed. I think, Blake, I don't know if you have any comments and
No, I'm looking
the
forward to it.
importance of it.
It's gonna be good.
And Chief, I don't know if you have any comments to add?
No, I think it's gonna be a great step forward for the department. It's something that is almost expected in our, in our arena anymore. And it's something that Billy and I have really focused on over the last year, so looking forward to seeing what we can do, make our region this kind of money.
Any other discussion? Okay, I need a motion to authorize the law director to prepare this legislation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes?
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay, item 3, discussion of action, change order number 6 for the 2018 downtown improvement project to Vern Nagel and Company, an increase of $131,562.52. Mr. City Manager.
Okay, thank you. You know, like with any construction projects, you add in some contingency funds. In this particular project, we ran into some issues. We have old infrastructure in downtown. We're replacing water lines. And some of the things that we came across were bad soil conditions underneath the pavement. The trenches that were dug were not holding very well, and the trenches needed to be dug wider, which required additional backfill. Some of the quantities were off, and more sidewalks were replaced, and some thicker sidewalks were put in place, in particular around the church at the Emmanuel Lutheran. And that's because they do have some trucks that drive over it when they have to do brickwork and tuck pointing, things like that. Also, there was more milling needed at Monroe and Clinton. You know, it's easy to, when we originally had this project designed, we included Perry Street all the way to the tracks or past the tracks.
We were going up
To the tracks. And basically what we did is, because of the estimates were higher than what we wanted and what we could budget for, we basically drew a line on the map and said, well, let's make this an alternate, see what kind of bids come back. In the end, what we wound up doing is, you know, you can't just draw a line on the map and stop there. Sometimes you have to go a little bit further in order to complete a project, so it makes sense. So we're not cobbling things together either. So there were some additional water lines that were put in as a result of that. So, Chad, any other comments you want to add to this?
Generally, we try to be much closer to our original numbers. This was one of the rare projects where that didn't work out. We just had to expand what we were doing at nearly every end of the project. On North Perry, we had to go farther than we had planned. Once we got over by the Catholic Church, we weren't able to stop there because of what we found under the road. We ended up had to do a couple extra, or we had to do extra sidewalks with the handicap ramps that weren't sufficient near the church, and some other issues in front of the senior center and the Elks. We had to increase the concrete. We had additional drives that were wider, or that needed to be widened once we got out there. It's just one of those projects where in several different areas, things were so much worse once we started working than what we originally thought they would be. We ended up with some overruns on the project.
Smart money.
So are you,
Simple motion will take care of the change order.
okay.
I only have authorization of 25,000. Anything over that, I have to come to council.
Any other discussion?
I want to make sure that hole gets fixed on Monroe Street in West Clinton, or East Clinton,
The water trap.
The water trap,
right,
the bird bath.
right.
Gotcha.
It was bad last week
Was it?
during the ice, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, we do have a notice into Vernon Nagels to look at it and fix it in the spring. Also, the concrete staining,
Right.
will also be taken care of in the spring.
There's
What
still-
what other remaining items?
There's some on Perry Street too,
Yeah,
that's gotta be done.
some on Perry, some on.
Yes.
The only unfinished work, is the staining of the stamp brick. There'll be some warranty work that needs done, but the only items that haven't been finished that were pay items were the staining of the concrete. 'Cause we got the trees in there at last, and the tree wells are all finished, so it should just be the stain work.
Yeah, the trees were in and they had Christmas lights on them too.
Chad, when I did sidewalks the other day, I noticed the catch basin on Clinton and Perry, right by the hardware, is set down in. Was that made that way, or did it sink?
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, I looked at
Where
that,
at? Catch basin at Clinton and Perry, you said?
Clinton and Perry, East Clinton and Perry.
Good.
We'll take a look.
So what we need is just a
Most.
motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. And number 4, discussion of action, approval of a donation to the K-9 unit.
The, hang on just a second. The, oh, well. We got a donation from, the county prosecutor's office. Well, the check came from the Henry County Auditor's office, but it came from funds, is that correct, Chief?
Yes.
From the Henry County Prosecutor's Office in the amount of $1,500, so.
Prosecutor Quinn Neighbors wanted to help out our project.
Um, and then another $50 donation. And we just got another $500 donation from Vincent H. Link.
Yes, I just opened that just today,
Okay.
so, for the department.
So can we approve this one
Yes.
with the rest of them? So if you don't mind, if you want me to read the note, David, when we were broken down off of the ramp in 24 to 108, and you pulled in behind us, we were glad to see you. We were very pleased when you turned out to be so helpful and concerned about our situation. Please use this token of our gratitude whenever your department can use it the most. Thank you again, Vince and Beverly. Link.
Is that Officer Stewart?
No,
David?
me.
Oh, okay, just for you, okay.
I'd like to apply for the grant for that.
I got you.
Okay, what do we need here again, Mr. Law Director?
Motion.
Just a simple motion again?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. And the last item there, discussion action, water line on
Pass that around.
Second River Bridge. I guess we just need to refer that to,
Mansfield, Ohio.
is that your committee, Lloyd?
Hand out of there.
Jeff.
Or Jeff's committee?
Ready
Water
next
and
week?
sewer?
Yeah,
All right.
just discussion because we'll get into it further, but they need funding up front before they can actually
They'll
start.
need the funding before they can.
Sure.
So
But
that
there's
will
need-
be referred to water and sewer then?
Yeah.
Okay. With that in mind, we'll go around the table and we will start with our acting finance director.
I just want to congratulate you, Mayor, on such an interesting state of the city tonight. It was very well written.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay. Lori?
Same, just good job, Jason.
Jeff?
I have nothing to complain about this week. Isn't that nice?
That's wonderful, sir.
All right. And good job, Jason.
Okay, a few items here. First of all, in the absence of our council president, I have asked Councilman Schaefer to fill in on the Personnel Committee, and I know they're meeting again later this week, because he has done this several times before, and I've asked him to replace Joe on that committee. Do I need a motion on that?
To be safe, might as well.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
I'm laughing because Dakota, it's not me, thank God. So move.
You have that, Roxanne.
I want him to do it.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. So item number 1. Item number 2, I know you had a sort of a rough time with the cold last week, Mr. City Manager, trying to figure out what to do, but I appreciate your efforts, and I'm sure the people involved in the trash collection appreciated your efforts of delaying trash collection during the below zero weather conditions this week, with maybe the exception of one morning. Looks like a much favorable weather-related week.
Yep.
So thank you for your efforts there, all done with the concern of safety, and our county government did the same thing. So
It's
thank
the right
you
thing to do.
for what you did there. And finally, we need an executive session on compensation of personnel. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. Reminder, pancake breakfast is Sunday, 7 to 1?
Yep.
7 to 1, so
I'll be there at 7:01.
come get your fill of pancakes and sausage and eggs. And the question that people are gonna ask me, I already know this, is can people climb on the fire equipment? Probably no.
Well, as long as one of our members is there with them.
Okay,
So that's not a problem.
Okay.
So it's usually, as long as they just have to be attended to by
Okay.
one of us, so we can make sure we can lift them up in and take them back out, and that they're not hitting any of the buttons inside.
because I know I get that question. Can we
Yeah.
go, Mayor, don't you know? I'm like,
You
uh,
can just find anybody and then they'll take you around.
okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Hamlin lets me climb around. No, I'm just
You know, it was the right call to not do trash pickup, but it was also a very trying week for our safety personnel, our badge wearers. So appreciate all their time out there, making sure that people are safe in those kind of conditions. So that's the people that had to come in. We appreciate the people that came in. How about that? So thank you very much. Everybody came in. So that's all I had. Thank you very much. I'll pass it around to-
Travis.
Just as I texted you about Joel, there's a new pothole that has opened up by the manhole cover on LaGrange.
Got fixed today.
filled.
Oh, well, I came straight here from Bowling Green,
Yeah.
so
No, it was fixed today.
congratulations onto the street crews for getting that done today. Very awesome. It was warmer out for them. So, and again, thank you to all the troops that were out during this cold. That's quite a big deal they had to go through, so certainly appreciate that.
Did you miss something?
That's all I got.
Yeah,
I played a board.
Pardon?
I played a board, yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Ken?
We did not get a report in from the IT guru.
He's back there.
There was a quick summary in the packet of information that came out.
Right.
But if Justin has anything he'd like to add to that?
No, I mean, the city's IT department's going in a forward direction. I mean, it's a little uphill. I mean, we have some stuff that we've been replacing, our network, our core of our network, and the city's computers. We're about 95% done with those. We're trying to avoid end-of-life dates for these computers. The moment they're end-of-life, Microsoft stops supporting them, and the antiviruses don't work. We leave our computers open to the external to be attacked, and we don't want to reach that point, especially with mission-critical services like dispatch. So we've been proactively replacing them, making sure they're updated, and keeping the city safe.
You want to add just a little bit about the phone system? Can you share that too with the
Yeah,
group here?
the phone system is in the works. That comes with replacing the network. We have to get it up to date and speeds on it essentially between all the buildings. That way we can, when we have new phones, everything works seamless. And right now, we're currently working with the fire department, trying to get all the data back and forth between our buildings to work with the new phones. So we're getting there. It just takes time.
Ken, back to you.
My thanks to all the operations people for keeping things running the way they did during the cold weather. That's it.
Billy?
I have one topic. We won't have to take a separate vote on this, but under compensation of personnel that does not have to do with what's been previously discussed. So I would like an opportunity to speak on that topic in executive session
Okay.
Before anything else takes place, if that's all right.
Okay, sure. Joel? Are you done, Billy?
I am done.
Joel?
Mysterious.
Great speech.
Thank you.
Update on the water, checked with Jeff Weiss. We are experiencing a little bit of higher usage / could be loss out there. So he's just wanted to keep everybody up to speed that, how many meters did pop?
We had
12?
we had 12 frozen services, all of which were homeowner issues. 8 of them were last week. And 2 of them were 2-inch meters that very large and we are sure accounted for a large amount of our water loss. And actually we have a main break right now. So
Yeah. Saw that. So we're still battling the weather in the aftermath of the thaw. Wanted to point out that Outlaw Barbecue donated or gave any personnel that were out working in the cold weather, gave them free pulled pork sandwiches for lunch.
Awesome.
So,
I knew I forgot something this morning on the radio. I knew I did. Dang it.
it's all right. As long as I've got thank you letters. We can send them. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, call Adam tomorrow and tell him.
Well, do
yeah,
this.
or go there and support them. Yeah.
Can we do this? Can you have a thank you letter
Card.
kind of done so we can come in sometime this week and sign that?
Yeah.
And then we'll also have a card then maybe for Councilman Myers for his situation and Councilman Belaruki for his situation, so we can sign 3 things at the same time.
It's a good one.
Is it all right?
Yep.
Everybody can make it in Thursday by close of business. Is that all right? So we can sign all 3 of those and get those on their way?
Yep.
Does that work? Okay, everybody? All right.
Somebody gonna be here at 4 o'clock?
Depends if they close school again.
Somebody here at 4?
Yeah.
I
can,
What's that?
if he was gonna stop by, if he lets me know, I'll stay.
Okay.
Good deal. So, great on them. Got one item, actually, Chad, I didn't forget.
I was hoping.
I did pass it though, here it is. Legislation. Got a request for council to direct the law director to draft legislation for this item that you see that was in your packet. It's for the GIS implementation project, and it's a sole source to Stantec Consulting Services. They've been upgrading our GIS system over the past 2 years, at least last year.
The major contracts have been the last 2 years. We've had smaller contracts since 2013. We've been working with them since 2013. And they are the ones that, the way we're set up now, they are the ones that update our GIS. We do not do it with our own staff. So to sole source it to them, since they are basically maintaining our GIS system, it wouldn't make much sense to try to hire somebody else to do that when Stantec has it.
It would complicate things, wouldn't it? I mean, to bring
It
somebody
would
else in.
definitely complicate things. There would be a learning curve. It'd be more expensive. It would take a lot more time. It would not be in the best interest of the city by any means. It would be best to keep the same people working on it that have been working on it since 2013. And last year's contract was similar in size, and last year we did sole source that to Stantec as well. And we're
need a motion to have the law director prepare legislation on that issue.
Correct. So moved.
Second.
Okay, do you got that, Roxanne? Okay, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes?
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Continue, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you. Also like to, we do have an executive session for matters of a competitive nature relating to any city-owned or operated utility. I'm also gonna request an executive session on economic development.
Dude.
Mr. Mayor, do you have to, did we miss something here?
No, I just, we talked about closing the city, and we kept our people safe, but I think we also kept people from going out in that weather, put their trash on the side of the road. All it takes is one person to go down there, put their trash down, slip and fall, and then they're outside until they get found. And it's stuff like that, you never know how many people got saved by not being outside that day. So, you can't, there's no number there, so, that's all I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session for economic development?
I want to do over. Good job on the reports, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, does anybody else have a do-over here before I move on? Okay, with that, can I have a motion to go into executive session for economic development?
So moved.
Roxanne, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session for matters of competitive nature relating to any city-owned or any city-owned or operated utility?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
And can I have a motion to go in, just one motion?
One motion.
A motion to go into executive session for compensation of personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
After a much-needed restroom break, we will go into executive session.
After a 5-minute Ridley.
Still Ridley after all this.
Still a Ridley.
Well, I mean, based on how much No, this was a cup that I bought 10 years ago. It's paid for itself at this point.
Okay, can I have a motion to come out of executive session for economic development?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
No action was taken.
Jeff
Could I have a
says
motion to come out of executive session for compensations of matters for competitive, let me rephrase that. I have a
For those
motion
things.
To come out of executive session for matters of a competitive nature relating to any city-owned or operated utility.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
No action was taken. Can I have a recommendation to come out of executive session for compensation of personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Sure.
Okay, on that,
You gotta say no action taken and then say that, right?
no, there is action taken, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
No. There's
No.
never any action taken in.
Oh, no action taken, okay. Now, can I go on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would like a recommendation to direct the law director to draft legislation to amend the probation officer's position. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Roxanne, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Very begrudgingly, yes.
Okay. I would also like, can I do this two separate or one together?
I can do one together, just one pay order.
Okay. Like a motion to,
Those would be separate pay.
They would be
Yeah,
separate?
they've always been
Separate.
separate.
Okay,
Okay.
my bad, sorry.
okay. So I would like to, a recommendation to direct the law director to amend the approved authorities pay scale for 2019 for the position of city manager.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Anything else I need to do with that one?
I think that'll work as long as I have specifics later on when
Okay.
I'm drafting, that's fine.
Okay. And can I have a motion for the law director to draft legislation to amend the approved authorities pay scale for 2019 for the city law director?
So moved. Second.
Roxanne, call the roll?
Ken,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else on that, right?
I think we're good.
Okay. Approval of payment of bills and approval of financial reports.
Overtime issues. How much? I know, Chief, you guys got a lot of overtime issues going on right now.
Which one?
Either one.
Currently, no. We've been swinging the individuals, but trying to make up for those open shifts. But we
Has he
will
been
be
slinging
having
them or
one
swinging
going
them?
to the fire academy for 10
Has he
weeks.
been slinging
and
them?
He's one of our swing guys, but Nick that came in today, he'll be swinging around to cover a lot of shifts as well. So.
But I'm hearing, I think patrolman or somebody sitting desk.
In dispatch?
Yes.
Currently, yes, we're down one dispatcher. We've hired someone, they're in their first week of training.
Okay.
I've got significant overtime scheduled. Our anticipation is they successfully complete in about 10 weeks, and we can cancel a lot of that. But yes, I do have a lot scheduled going out through the year right now.
Okay.
Same thing with overtime coming up for the anticipated leave of absences for certain patrolmen.
Yes, I've got 3 patrolmen that are gonna be on FMLA at some point in time in the first quarter, or I'll say first half, March, April, June type of thing for medical issues. So.
We've got the position that's advertised right now.
We're advertising, we're hoping to get someone trained on that to kind of help offset that. Luckily, all 3 patrolmen will not, as of right now, not be off at the same time.
Can
So
we,
should be able to absorb that pretty decently.
maybe can we bring back Mr. Showties to help out with this shortage?
I
Or
think you
not?
probably have to talk to Mr. Schultz.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to do it.
Currently, sir, from the patrol standard, we should be able to manage it.
Sure.
Within budget and that type of thing right now. So, like I said, as of everything I've got on my plate, we're gonna lose one at a time, and we usually can, we can manage 1 or 2 off the schedule. Dispatch becomes really hard when I start losing dispatchers. So that's where we're hoping for a good training period, and then we can minimize the amount of overtime out there.
Next year for budget, can we at least examine what it would take to get us fully up to staff on dispatchers to back where we used to be?
6?
Oh, yeah.
6?
That's on my mission this year.
I'd like to see that in budget time. I mean, I think some of these are mission critical positions that.
You really feel a pinch when you only have 5 when you lose one.
Right.
I'm thinking we ought to try to find money yet before the second half, if we can.
Welcome, new finance director.
Tell us Greg was wrong.
How high did those eyebrows go?
I'm just
Are they going
saying,
up?
you figure with the overtime costs, it's gotta be costing you more money than hiring somebody.
No,
Not yet.
because last year, we had, sorry, didn't mean to.
Sure.
Again, just wanted to chime in.
Yes.
I mean, salaries, you get salary savings because you're not paying benefits. You're paying overtime, and you're paying time and a half, but you're not paying those benefits too. That's why a lot of companies just continually work, I'm talking private sector, continually work people overtime because they don't want to hire another person and give them the benefits packages and, pay workers' comp and everything else. So, I mean, you get this where you get the salary savings, you make up for it on salary savings in your straight time, but you go over on your overtime.
But I think in the stressful situations as a dispatcher or patrol officer has,
You get-
you don't wanna burn them out.
Yeah,
They
you
need that
get-
time off
you kinda,
between.
yeah, you get burnout, you get worker burnout is the big issue, especially with a small staff. So, I'm just saying from a financial perspective, that's not.
And that is pretty accurate from what we're seeing. I have been tracking it since I took over, how many patrolmen, how many hours roughly, we have in patrol and what that dollar amount looks like for us, so I have those records, not with me right now, I wasn't anticipating that, apologies, but, Joel and I have talked about that over, so what he stated is pretty accurate as far as the cost. It is the worker burnout issue that I'm dealing with right now. I've got one dispatcher with 17 or 18 years, I got one with 2 years and two with, they haven't seen their first year yet, and I'm hiring another one, so turnover's been significant in that department.
The other part is, staffing levels at the fire department too. I'd be remiss if I didn't even mention that. So, I mean, we're talking all general fund positions, so these
Yeah.
they're all mission critical, and I know dispatcher's mission critical too, but, the fire department does have a B shift that is only staffed with 2 people, and A and C shifts are both staffed with 3 people. So we're having to pick people up and swing people are, again, you get worker burnout when you're doing swing shifts.
That's usually why we.
Nobody wants the swing shift.
Yeah. That's usually why we lose it, because when I first started in the fire department, I got on and there's guys that had 18 and 20 years on. So if you had to be the swing guy for just a couple years, because they can retire when they're 25 years, it wasn't that long. Well, now the guys that are on the line only have 4 years on the job. So anybody coming in as a swing guy, anytime somebody's off on that B shift or another shift, as I just talked about, they do alleviate that overtime or try to, but that's really why they go running, is because they can get to another department for the same amount of money on a set shift, rather than constantly moving their schedule all the time.
Right.
So that B shift is really hurting us, and instead of having 3 across the board, where if we had 3 across the board with just allowing one guy off, then it makes it a lot easier, so.
And dispatch is dual purpose. I mean, it's for both.
It's for everything. It's for everybody though, because you got operations, electric, and everybody.
It's a matter of where the priorities are.
Command and control force.
We could bring back Vic, but I don't know if we could find ammunition for his 1863 revolver though.
This old man was not gonna come back.
Okay, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion for adjournment?
No, you gotta pay bills.
Yep.
You did.
No, you didn't.
Approval of payment of bills. What do I need, a motion?
No.
No?
Does anybody object? Did you object to him?
No, I would just wanted to know some questions.
All right, then you just have to
We move on?
press the holy water onto him.
Can I have a motion then for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Roxanne, please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Lori? Yes. Jeff?
Yes?
Dan?
Yes.
Travis?
Yeah, I was gonna vote no because I was having too much fun.
Because they've been here 6 weeks.
I was here last meeting.
See you Thursday night.
Yeah, I'll make up my penance then.